Hello guys, welcome back to the news. Due to the economic hardships in the country, some Nigerians have resorted to calling Tinubu T-Pain because it's obvious his administration has increased the sufferings of the masses. But then, Onanuga, the presidential aide, have said Tinubu is not T-Pain, that Tinubu doesn't read what's on social media, but he's working very hard to make things better. And I wonder how. Onanuga, who assured Nigerians that Tinubu truly feels the struggles of every Nigerian and is committed to turning things around for the better, noted that the president is not heartless, so Nigerians should stop tagging Tinubu as heartless on social media. That he's not heartless. The president truly feels and understands the struggles of every Nigerian, and according to Mr. Bayo, Tinubu is committed to turning things around for the better. He made this known on Channels Television's Sunday Politics that Tinubu is not T-Pain, a nickname that many Nigerians have used to describe him online. Onanuga noted that yes, the Tinubu's administration is focused on repairing Nigeria's economy. It's not causing harm to its citizens. According to the presidential aide, Tinubu is committed to repairing the economy despite the current challenges of the galloping inflation. Now, this galloping inflation, who caused it? The same Tinubu's administration. That the president is aware, Mr. President is quite aware that the citizens are going through some difficulties, that the president does not read what's on social media, that the president does not go to social media. Because at this point, some persons have tagged Tinubu as T-Pain. That Tinubu is not T-Pain, no. Tinubu is not T-Pain. In fact, he feels the pains of Nigerians and he is working very hard to make sure he gives Nigerians some relief that will, make this country more better and more prosperous. So he noted that some programs have been implemented, and in due time, we will begin to see some positive signs that, yes, indeed, things are getting better. That at some point, let Nigerians be patient, that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Mr. Onanuga highlighted that Nigeria is experiencing economic growth with increasing revenues, which he describes as a positive sign for the country's financial future, despite the inflation. That Tinubu's administration is still recording economic growth, that the first 2 quarters of the year recorded growth despite the inflation. Revenue has increased, I beg your pardon. That T-Pain, the nickname popularized on social media, symbolizes the growing discontent with the Nigerian government's performance under Tinubu's administration. Now, that T-Pain has been used as a nickname for Tinubu, and so many critics are using it to express dissatisfaction with his economic policies. The nickname for President Tinubu came from a remix of T-Pain's track, Buy You a Drink, by a Nigerian satirist, Bello, best known by his stage name, Dan Bello. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? I know that Onanuga will want to defend this administration, always putting up, defense to Tinubu's failures, but it's normal. He is Tinubu's spokesperson. So we don't expect to hear anything much from Onanuga, because at this point it's obvious, even to the whole world, that Tinubu has no plan. Even the former president Olusegun said it himself when he attacked President Tinubu, that Tinubu came to power without any plan for the country. He made this known during a recent interview, that leadership is beyond opening the mouth to make a pronouncement, especially when such pronouncement had not been studied. Someone that just came on the first day, subsidies removed. You don't know how it could impact the citizens. You don't know how it could impact the economy and how people would suffer for it. You did not study, nothing. You just made a pronouncement that first subsidy has been removed. So Obasanjo really gave Tinubu woto. He noted that this administration, well, it seems that they came without a plan. Instead of making the business environment an enabling environment so that private sector investors can, thrive more in this economy. They are making the business environment so unconducive for the masses. Look at the hunger in the nation. They have already predicted that in some years to come, Nigeria as a nation, we won't be able to feed. What are the policies that Tinubu have put in place in terms of our food production? We should focus on that, food production. Agricultural practices, it should be a lifestyle. It should be our lifestyle. But no, even the crude oil that Nigeria has been, yes, we have crude oil, Our people, we cannot afford fuel, despite us owning the crude oil. Despite us having a refinery. Before they will say, oh, why the prices of fuel are expensive? Because we tend to import from other countries, that's the refined products. Now we have a refinery, the Dangote refinery. How far? Still, it's not affordable for the masses. So at this point, Tinubu needs to do a lot too, starting with the issue of this hunger. Yes, starting with the issue of this hunger. It is not by sharing bag of rice. Because now at this point, if Nigerians say, oh, we're hungry, the wife of the president is always quick to disburse bag of rice. That was how last week she shared how many thousand bags of rice to some persons in Anambra, to some women in Anambra State. How is rice going to help us? We need to look at our food production. We need to increase in our food production. We need to achieve food sufficiency in this country to an extent that we will have enough that we can be shipping off to other countries. But no policies have been put in place to protect farmers. Farmers are currently on their own. Most of these Fulani herders, with their cattle, due to some parts that they've not really concluded on this open grazing of a thing, they go to people's farm, destroy people's crops. Nothing will be done about it. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? Because we expect nothing much from Onanuga. Yes, he's a spokesperson of the president and he would, in a way, speak in favor of Mr. President. But we really need to see results. The poorer are getting, the poor people are getting poorer. In Nigeria currently, we have the rich and the poor people. There is no middle class people anymore. Before we had the rich people, the middle class people and the poor people, but currently it's either you are rich or you are poor. There's nothing like a middle class in Nigeria. So guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments section.